You're listening to the Mastermind Parenting Podcast with Randy Rubenstein, episode 82.
My name is Randy Rubenstein, and welcome to the Mastermind Parenting Podcast, where we believe when your thoughts grow, the conversations in your home flow.
Hi guys, in this episode, the main focus of this one is that quote, I heard it years ago. The days are long, but the years are short. And man, have I experienced that. I really feel like those preschool years, they dragged on forever and a day. But then when my kids hit middle and high school and now even college, it's like blink. I'm like, what is happening? Why has life sped up so much? So I had a specific situation with a mom in my mastermind, a newer mom in my mastermind who has two little kids, and she was just kind of these afternoons are killing me. When they come back from preschool and the baby's not a baby anymore, now he's in school too, and at school they don't quite rest quite as much as the naps aren't as productive as they are at home, and oh my gosh, these afternoons, they're just long, and yesterday was such a doozy, and she was just kind of venting, and so I coach her on this, and I really share a lot of practical advice for kind of how to structure your afternoons, and also how to shift your mindset about it. Because the truth of the matter is, the most exhausting part, and most of us don't even realize this, is what we're thinking about how hard it is, or what we're thinking it should be like. And so that's a mindset thing. So this is just a short clip where I coach this super frustrated, adorable mom about this situation. And I just thought, you know what? I think my podcast listeners would find this useful. So enjoy.
When your kids are little, the days are so freaking long. There's a saying that I heard years ago that I love: the days are long, but the years are short. The days are so long. And it's really weird how it works, but it's the days are so long when you have preschool age kids. I remember it seems like those preschool years drag on and on and on. And then and elementary, lower elementary kind of takes a long time. And then all of a sudden you're like, I blinked and we're in upper elementary. And then middle and high school goes by in a freaking blur. Okay, you started 6th grade, but now wait, you're about to go to high school? And it's just crazy. So it goes so much faster the older they get. I think there's a reason for it. It's because there's, every single need doesn't need to be met by you anymore as they get older and they become more independent. So the exhaustion, I think, really does come from, I used to laugh when my niece would stay with us, and I called it the game of moments until death. That's what it felt like to me. It was exhausting because we don't have a baby-proofed house. We don't have a gate around our pool. We don't, so I was just on high alert at all times. It's if you turn your back for too long, it's just moments until death. So your life is a game of moments until death when your kids are little. And that's why it's so freaking exhausting.
I'm super excited to dive into today's topic, but before we do, here's a quick word from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by the Mastermind Parenting Membership, our exclusive private year-long mastermind. In the mastermind, you're going to find a tribe of smart, determined, and even sometimes slightly rebellious parents who all happen to have at least one strong-willed kid. We dig in, we study our own brains and what's coming up for us when our kids are pushing our buttons. We also learn to see our kids differently and how to speak to them in a way that they can actually hear without the constant fighting and dictator-type behavior. We change patterns that have often been in our families for generations. Doors are officially open and we're enrolling for the Mastermind Parenting Membership Fall Cohort Group. So if you're ready to get the coaching, support, training, resources, and accountability you deserve to finally take your family from a state of surviving to thriving, I want you to go to mastermindparenting.com/Lindsay. That's mastermindparenting.com/Lindsay with an EY, and book a free call so we can learn more about you and determine whether the mastermind would be a good fit.
So I put that out there because I want you to have a realistic mindset and know that right now it's about how do we make the most of these years, and they are exhausting. Okay. So, the goal in my mind is to get to bedtime and for everyone to be able to lay their heads down feeling connected. Okay. Whatever you need to do to get there. So right now they're coming home. Your reality is you got little kids and they're coming home and they're not getting as much rest as they need at school. So on school days, they need an earlier bedtime. And I would literally plan out the time between I don't know if they go every day or not, but on these days where they come home spent and exhausted, I would plan out how to make it through the rest of the day with the least amount of tears and fighting. And it might look like they come home, they need some downtime, okay? And especially during the preschool years, like they don't have homework and all those things, right? So they come home and you give them a snack and you sit with them, and then maybe they get to watch a movie together. They get to watch 2 shows. They get to have that downtime that they need. And then after TV time, then it's go outside and play time. And it's like literally you being like, we're going on a bike ride. I mean, I was always a big bike rider. We're going, because you can put the baby in the baby seat, you can get to a destination. So we're either going on a bike ride, we're going to the park, we're going out and playing. It's hot as hell here in Houston. We're doing some water splashing. We're going to do some water balloon, whatever. It's, and like Erica in my mastermind, she's got 3 very active little boys. Like she started a thing. They have a front area in their house where, like their driveway, they have a gate, so it's like a kind of like a courtyard. And they have a pool in the back that's pretty much the whole backyard, and in the front is like all concrete, and it's like this gated front area. She started a wall in her garage that's like the graffiti wall. There's chalk, markers, whatever. So there's chalk, they can chalk all over the ground. There's markers, they can draw all over the graffiti wall. They do water balloons. They've got a little jumpy thing out there. They are constantly with the hose and wetting each other, doing whatever. So I'm saying, like, have it structured where they come home, they have the downtime. Then you guys go outside and you have some kind of outside time. Which I kind of feel like it's like, if they're already exhausted, like run them like puppies until they collapse. But if they like sitting and having a little tea time and they're telling you they want to do that, they're just, you don't want to do the fort thing that turns into the tears. So just, let them have a little tea time, then go outside, run them like puppies. Then you come back inside and it's like time for you to get dinner together or whatever, which hopefully you've got a plan and things are in place. So it's not a ton of prep time for you. Like you've done stuff earlier while they were at school, but you put out a little, plate for them to nosh on because they're going to come home hungry from the park, and you put out a little plate with, I think this is really helpful to do with little tiny kids. It's got some carrots and ranch and some nuts if you guys do nuts, and some cubes of cheese and maybe some apple slices. And basically it's like a little plate of nutrients that if they sit down at dinner and eat next to nothing, it's totally fine, because at least, they just got a bunch of good stuff in them before dinner. So it's almost like dinner's just the ritual of dinner. And Jesse, if you're listening to this, I actually think that this could be helpful for you too. If Campbell's not eating at dinner anyway, you might as well catch him when he's hungry and put up a bunch of good stuff. I would literally, while I was making dinner, I just put out a plate real quick and just throw some things on it. And they just knew they could come over and they could just nosh. They didn't have to sit down. They could walk, they could stand, they could eat, they could walk back and forth. It wasn't a big deal. So I would say, You come home, you do dinner, they're noshing, and then it's bath and bedtime. Like the day's over, but at least you've filled it, and it's not just like open-ended time in the house of what do we do next? What do we do next? I think this kind of structure will set them up for more success. Hey guys, if you want to close the gap between the parent that you currently are when your kids are pushing your buttons and the parent that you always intended to be, that calm, cool, and collected parent, no matter what's going on around you, I have my recipe for you. I wrote about it in my book, The Parent Gap, and I'd love to give you the free audio version. All you have to do is text the number 44222, that's 44222, and put the message in Mastermind Parenting. That's all one word, all caps, Mastermind Parenting to 44222, and we will send you over a free copy of my audio book, The Parent Gap, ASAP.